Welcome to another episode of Music Therapy. I am John Thune, your resident mental health therapist, and today we are listening to People So Stupid by Tom MacDonald. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share. Really helps me a lot growing this channel. And without further ado, let's get right into it.
Praying that the world changes soon. Can't get a doobie on a plane, but there's Uzis in our schools. Every dude who touched a boob or a booty getting me too. What you expect from the kids who went to Hooters after school? We're all triggered and defensive, we're all racist and we're sexist. We all grew up watching South Park. How are we offended? Now being fat is beautiful? Name it.
Wow, yeah, and it's interesting how people act like being offended is the person offending's fault. Like, if you're offended, that's kind of on you because we're in control of our reactions to some degree, and that's not an excuse to go out there and be belligerent or cruel to people. But if you're offended, so what, right? You have to deal with that in your own way. Otherwise, you're going to go through your whole life being triggered. And I've worked with people who are hypersensitive, and it's okay to be hypersensitive to the news and to world events and things like that. But we have to protect ourselves and our mental health first because no one else will.
Sexist, we all grew up watching South Park. How are we offended? Now being fat is beautiful? Name a thing that you can't do? Jumping jacks, run a mile, live past 42? Man, it used to be cooler to slip a bird to the system, and now it's...
Wow, so it is interesting here how he's kind of attacking this fat beauty movement where, because we know clinically, medically, scientifically, being overweight is unhealthy, and being in the mental health field, I of course advocate for people to be healthy, and so that's eating well, exercising regularly, getting your steps in, sleeping well. Because without those things, I mean, we're going to live at a fraction of our true potential. And there are real limitations for obese people in the modern world. And of course, there is a stigma, like the disparaging comments of fat shaming people, and those aren't helpful in getting them to be healthy. And there are medical conditions and some kind of outliers that many people don't understand why people are overweight, but yeah, overall it is very much, it costs the world a ton of money due to heart attacks, strokes, premature deaths. All of these things are a real tax on society.
Jacks, run a mile, live past 42? Man, it used to be cooler to slip a bird to the system, and now it's trendy to be triggered and pretend you're a victim. It's my...
Oh no, oh, it is trendy to be a victim, to say that you've been through XYZ traumas and that it is, in the 21st century, it's like we're going backwards psychologically, that we all want to play the biggest victim card and say, I have this over you, and then it becomes like this competitive victimhood where I've seen people in groups try to one-up each other on their biggest traumas, and it is not, grief is good to process, but it shouldn't be competitive and it shouldn't be trendy to be a victim.
Be cooler to slip a bird to the system, and now it's trendy to be triggered and pretend you're a victim. It's my race, it's my weight, it's because I'm a Christian. I hate the internet and anyone who has an opinion. And everybody angry if you say white. Okay, fine. Pass me the brush and I'll paint my face to the shades right. Let's talk about abortion. Sorry, tell me how this works. Bacteria is life on Mars, but a heartbeat isn't life on Earth? Weird. So stupid.
Wow, that's a controversial take there. I'm not going to comment on that. I think he makes a fair point. I can see both sides of the argument. You know, as therapists, we're kind of trained to see both sides and not make one decision or the other and cause conflict. But holy smokes, this is really loaded with a lot of contemporary issues in this world. Whoo-wee!
Why are y'all so stupid? Get better problems, I swear to God that y'all want them, y'all so dumb. People so stupid, people so dumb, people so boo-hoo, wah, wah, wah. Get better issues, we're gonna run out of tissues, it's so dumb. I'm a hater cause I can't relate to gay pride. Call me homophobic because I don't want to date guys. K-tight. I for one am not surprised the world declined along the way. Give trophies to children for losing just cause they decide to play. We exercise.
Wow, yeah, and this idea of giving everyone participation trophies is kind of hindering those who go above and beyond. I mean, it is so good to reward effort because we know clinically that if you reward effort as opposed to saying, oh, you're so smart, little Bobby, then kids are more likely to respond with effort. And if you tell a kid they're smart all the time, then they're going to try to skate by. So if you're a parent and you want to improve your parenting, reward effort. Don't praise intelligence.
Has a right to vote and hate the politicians. Ay, this is a democracy, it's partly your decision. Ay, this is weird, feels like this a different year. If I identify as a female, then when my balls and penis disappear. Children want a gender switch and hating men is feminist. Depression and anxiety are trendy, we're too sensitive. Invented 80 genders, mad the world is not accepting it. Then gave them more attention than normal women and men can get. What a contradiction, being human is so tragic. Focus on minorities, ignoring all the masses. Hallelujah, everyone. Activism saved the planet. No more plastic straws and paper, just paper straws wrapped in plastic. Congratulations.
Wow. This is loaded for sure. And I can understand where he's coming from.
We're too sensitive, invented 80 genders, mad the world is not accepting it. Then gave them more attention than normal women and men can get. What a contradiction, being human is so tragic. Focus on minorities, ignoring all the masses. Hallelujah, everyone. Activism saved the planet. No more plastic straws and paper, just paper straws wrapped in plastic.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Y'all so stupid. Why are y'all so stupid?
I love statistics because you can manipulate a lot of data with it. But fun fact about people, 50% of people are dumber, less intelligent than average. You can say that about anything. Therapists, doctors, lawyers, 50%. You know, it's funny.
Get better problems, I swear to God that y'all want them, y'all so dumb. People so stupid.
I don't totally like putting people down and saying they're dumb or stupid. For instance, like politics and abortion and trans rights are very controversial issues in modern society. And just because you fall into one side of the spectrum, it's so important to not disparage the other side. Because say like you're a liberal and you think all Trump supporters are stupid, that's half of the population who voted for Trump, and not all of them are stupid. And so it's so important to see both sides. And there's this idea in dialectical behavioral therapy. It says that two opposite things can exist in coharmony. And that is so important to keep in mind with all of these super divisive issues in this world, and to help people understand and to not be so rigid in your beliefs, and to be able to have a conversation with someone who is of opposite belief than you on something.
People so dumb, people so boo-hoo, wah, wah, wah. Get better issues, we're gonna run out of tissues, it's so dumb. Look, I get it, it's like the world is going crazy. Seems like a school shooting happens almost daily. The racism, rape culture, hatred that we're facing is way too ingrained for our hashtags to change it. We've become so lazy and complacent, afraid of our generation. We think activism's Instagramming memes and complaining. It's a problem when there's actually actions you could be taking. Activism.
Wow, yes. Oh my gosh.
Look, I get it, it's like the world is going crazy. Seems like a school shooting happens almost daily. The racism, rape culture, hatred that we're facing is way too ingrained for our hashtags to change.
Yeah, it is. It does run deep, but activism happens in a lot of different ways. And I think social media can be a platform to facilitate hate or healing. So even if you're not a politician on a mass scale, we can absolutely have ripple effects in our own communities, in our own personal life. And that's important to keep in mind. Like, we're not going to fix the entire racism, sexism, school shootings overnight, but we can do our part. And if everyone does their part, then maybe we'll have a more compassionate, understanding world where hate doesn't drive human behavior. Because hate is a powerful emotion, and fear, I think, underlies hate. And that's what politics and that's what the news really does, is it instills fear to create panic. And then so your limbic system, your emotional state, takes over your rational mind.
We've become so lazy and complacent, afraid of our generation. We think activism's Instagramming memes and complaining. It's a problem when there's actually actions you could be taking, but you're triggered, so you just cry like a baby.
Like I said, so you're offended, so what? What are you going to do about it to be better? I think it's so important to identify your triggers and work through them rather than avoid them. Because let's say you're triggered by a specific song that reminds you of your ex, and you walk into the gas station to get, a drink, and the next thing you know, that song's on and you're triggered, and then you're spiraling out of control. So triggers are super important to avoid in early recovery, but as you get more resolve and more confidence throughout your life, you need to face them. You need to figure out what is triggering, what is underlying that trigger, and work through them.
y'all so stupid? Why are y'all so stupid? Get better problems, I swear to God they all want them, y'all so dumb. People so stupid, people so dumb, people so boo-hoo, wah, wah, wah. Get better issues, we're gonna run out of tissues, it's so dumb.
Wow. Oh my gosh. What a commentary on modern American society. Tom MacDonald has quite a way of just hitting those core issues home, and he is quite opinionated, and I love that he is willing to open up about how he feels, what he thinks about the state of this country and what's going wrong, because we all have different narratives, and by sharing it and listening to it for me, I was able to relate on so many different levels. What an incredible song. And we have such a great community. Thank you so much for being here. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share this with a friend if it resonated with you. And I look forward to seeing you in the next music therapy episode.